Hey everybody, Chuck Cassidy here, American expat, amateur musician, and functioning alcoholic. Since 2009, I've been living mostly abroad, starting in Honduras, then to Spain, England, Scotland, Italy, and now back in Spain where I am now. Recently, I've been seeing a lot of videos of Americans who live abroad and are documenting their lives. Now, this can be very interesting, and I think a lot of people like this kind of thing, but frankly, the videos are kind of weak sauce and boring most of the time, and they're very careful not to offend anybody. In other words, boring. So today I'm here to give you the real story from 16 years of experience living outside the US with just straight talk, no BS, right from the heart, and with no BS. Are you ready? Now, this is normally a channel about music, mostly mine, but I thought I'd try something new since nobody listens to my music anyway.
Yeah, it's because they're jealous. It's too good.
One thing I've learned is that Europeans often have misconceptions about the USA and about Americans in general. They think that we're all these right-wing, gun-toting, homophobic, racist fascists, but that just isn't true. Half of us don't even own a gun. They think that we have no culture. Also not true. For example, we love macaroni and cheese and SpaghettiOs. Thank you, Italy. Another common and false stereotype is that Americans have terrible geographic knowledge. But trust me, most Americans can find Spain on a map right next to Mexico. It's not that hard, so get over yourselves, Europeans. Now, Americans also have misconceptions about Europeans. For example, a lot of Americans think that all Europeans are, come to think of it, we don't even think about Canadians, much less Europeans. When I'm in Europe, I find myself defending America and its way of life. And when I'm in America, I find myself doing the same for Europe. That's the type of guy I am. But what I've learned is that there are nice people in every country, and there are a-holes in every country in roughly equal percentages.
This is chaos disguised as order, cruelty disguised as compassion. It has to stop. It has to stop.
Nice people are nice people wherever you go. They're kind, they're generous, they're open, welcoming, compassionate, what have you, okay? But the way in which a-holes can be a-holes changes from place to place. For example, now, a nice Spanish person will be nice in all the aforementioned ways, but a Spanish a-hole is someone who doesn't know how to share public space.
They'll move into your territory, occupy your spot in the pub, for example, throw in subtle little elbows to kind of get you out of the way. Kind of historically ironic, isn't it? Anyway, you could be walking across an empty football pitch, and a Spanish a-hole will find a way to bump into you at midfield. That's for sure.
And then he'll look at you like you're the a-hole. Nice British people are nice in all the ways I mentioned before. They'll hold the door open for you, they'll chat you up at the pub, and if they find you interesting, they might even buy you a pint the first time they meet you. But a British a-hole, now that's a different animal. They're actually decent, upstanding citizens typically from Monday morning until Friday afternoon. And when that final bell goes off on Friday, it's off to the pub to drink until they fight or fall down. Now, if you happen to get a group of British a-holes, they like to gather around a table and talk way too loud in public in an effort to piss people off that are around them, hopefully causing a confrontation with somebody who just can't take it anymore. Now, if you're British out there, don't pretend you don't know what I'm talking about. I've spent a lot of hours in your pubs, eh? I know. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about Honduras, shall we? A nice Honduran person will be a very humble, God-fearing, and most likely poor person. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. I don't make the rules, all right? When Honduras qualified for the World Cup of Football, or soccer, in 2010, I was there for the celebration. They got a little help from Team USA, who was able to eliminate Costa Rica in the final seconds of the last match, which was quite a moment for the country because it allowed Honduras to enter through the back door for the first time in decades. As a result, a young man so overcome with ecstasy actually offered me his girlfriend for the evening. And I thought, oh, that was a really kind gesture. That has to be the nicest thing anyone's ever offered me. I didn't accept, by the way. And on top of that, he didn't try to rob my cell phone when I turned my back like many of his compatriots would have done. Italians. Italians can be very nice people, and in all the ways I've mentioned before. In addition, they really like to invite you into their home, feed you, give you wine, share their culture and their beautiful language with you, and that can be really fun. But I can sum up an Italian a-hole in one sentence. They will run a red light, cut you off in traffic, and give you the finger. The United States of America, an incredibly diverse melting pot of different cultures and pretty much every culture that exists in the world. So the ways in which people can be nice and irritating in America is very diverse compared to other places, in my humble opinion. However, I have identified some particular ways that are particularly annoying in particular situations where Americans can be real a-holes. I've decided I'm going to act this one out. So here's the moment you've all been anxiously awaiting for. I know you other countries are like, when's he going to talk about American a-holes? And well, here it goes. So you're a teacher, eh? Do you find that job financially rewarding, do you? So where'd you go to college? Oh, is that a state school? So where do you live? Yeah, I think I know that subdivision. Do they have running water yet? So what kind of car are you driving these days? Oh, great. I'll bet that's a very fuel-efficient car. Good for you. Sorry if these questions are intrusive. I just really like to get to know people. Honey, is the Jaguar ready to go? Well, everybody, if you've made it this far, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my insight into a-holes around the world. Now, my channel, as I said, is normally about music, so I invite you to check out the song I wrote a while back called The Theory of Two A-Holes. The theory basically states that bad things happen because a-holes tend to find each other. Enjoy, like, subscribe.